season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
It didn't take long to see our first penalty of the game, did it?
We always talk about everyone wanting to get into the game in a hurry. The officials did as well.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown.
So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he returns this to the 22.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now Rodgers to try again after the pick six. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
This defense for the Dolphins, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Our game here, the first of 3 on this Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody. And remember, you got 2 more after this. We're followed here by the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles, and then tonight a good one out in the desert, the Bucs and Cards from Glendale.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It's a gain of 35. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try to hit that route to the outside in this game. They'll test the perimeter. At that time, they were up to the challenge.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down.
Got a man, it's Tunyon.
And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 20-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And this is caught by Watkins.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
5 yards remain on 2nd down.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake. They've taken care of that early.
Now Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Up the middle, Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping it for a loss.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Here's Rodgers to throw. Steps away to his left. That is caught by Cobb. And it's a Packer touchdown. Randall Cobb. His 14th touchdown now on the year.
And the Packers are an extra point away from evening this one up.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Connects here with the tight end Blake Jarwin. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. A run with Mostert up the middle. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
The Dolphins at 11-3 on the year. And they will lose their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
These 2 teams all tied after 1. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
17.
Once again, it's Mostert.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown.
Raheem Mostert, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead.
That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. And he still is yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That really sets him back. A loss of 6. Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. Now Rodgers. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw as here late in the season, he goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really throwing the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
Just to pick up a 3, but that is indeed enough.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Rodgers.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Eric Rowe. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
But just a lot going on there in the middle of the field, and this one winds up a turnover.
Yeah, they're running a crossing route here, and the idea of it is to get defenders confused about who to go with. But you throw it too early, sometimes it's your quarterback that gets confused, and here he throws it into coverage and gets it intercepted.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he'll get it inside the 35.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out. And they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 54 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown.
Raheem Mostert
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Dolphins have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, what a first half he's had running the football. Another terrific run there, and this one finds the end zone.
Well, we know he's a guy who's capable of coming up with big plays in the running game, and his offensive line knows it as well. That keeps them motivated, looking for those extra blocks to give him room to run downfield.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm about to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
It's Melvin Ingram on the tackle. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. On play action, now Rodgers. He's got a man, it's his fullback. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
And the big guy catches the ball in the backfield, and oftentimes is quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. So for this offense, Charles, remember drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there's never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
On 2nd and 9, Tua. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they?
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Tua sets up to pass it. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 94 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
taken at about the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown.
Charles, they are putting on a show right now. I mean, with that fumble return for the touchdown, you think about the size of this advantage. Heck, it's a 4-score game right now, and we're still in the first half.
And that has to be the highlight, Brandon, with how infrequently we see fumbles return to the house. But if you are inclined to pick this as the game signature play so far, you do have no shortage of alternatives to select from. This has been nothing short of a perfect. And as noted, we still have a half a goal.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Fields it right around the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go here before intermission.
Steps away.
Open man left side. It's the tight end, Tunyon.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers out to his left. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And he's got room. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
98 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
Two and now on 1st down. This will be caught just inside the 10. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
Ball on the 8. It's 2nd and 4.
Now Tua. Well, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Adrian Amos with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 33.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
52.
After the turnover, it's Tua. And going deep for Hill.
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we've reached halftime here on Christmas Day as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
From the 29, Tua.
And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush. A lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
On the handoff, this is Mostert.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 39, Tua. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Kenny Clark in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. This to Jarwin. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 22-yard line. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow them to convert a 3rd and 18.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
They'll run right side with Mostert.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Strike. Check. Strike. Yellow. 1.
Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Looking to pass. Tua. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt.
The kick by Sanders is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. The first drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. With that being said, this task is near impossible, let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible. But this possession is an empty one.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down.
He'll find Aguara complete. And he's going to have a Packers first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers.
He'll find his tight end here, Aguara.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down. Throwing is Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 18. A gain there of 21 yards.
A lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the 3rd quarter. And they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off Byron Jones.
To be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And this one's incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. We are off to the fourth quarter here on this special Christmas Day broadcast. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And the Dolphins will add on to their lead.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Taking it about the 1. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And this offense on third down today, they've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here's Michael Palardy now, standing just outside his own goal line. .37 yards on the punt with no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Well, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Adrian Amos with a pick.
And the Packers are going to take over at their own 41.
Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Rodgers going to throw. And now here's another interception.
And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Ready, set.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we can probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. Taken down at the 47-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Flush to his right, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, first down.
3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all, but in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 2 big plays in succession, and the Dolphins on the move.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Two and a throw again. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead.
Now, the only silver lining on the other sideline is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
The third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
Here's Rodgers.
Got a man, it's Tunyon. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Rodgers now on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Rodgers again now. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard.
And the Dolphins come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. But Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Miami, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings.
They ain't got no job, need someone to take her home. I hop up in the car, whip like Indiana Jones. Going George Lucas, now I'm out here killing clones. Coming in strong like, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Boosted up my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down, tear down. Everybody eating, it's a party, wanna come to time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out. Everybody wanna kill the king, like shit, wanna take the crown. I can see through it like a stomach with a other sign. When I hit the gas, I be going like 100 miles. They be getting tired, running out like 100 house. All up in my business, real nose like a bloodhound. I'ma throw them off like I'm standing on a picture mound. All they do is look at Instagram while they sit around. Hate me in real life, but you like a picture. bitches now. Oh, everybody acting different now. Finally trying to see what I be on. Got a different style. They be at the brand new when they know I've been around. Got a fake smile on your face cause you've been inclined. I can say a lot, but I'm not. Gotta keep it down. Making sure nobody drown. I'm my brother, keep it now. Mike Jack hit me up and said I gotta beat it down. Turn me up when I'm on your speaker now. Cool. Tear it down. 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 Boosted up my cardio. I used to get the run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear it down. 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 Everybody eating this a party one o'clock of time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out. Yeah, you in the league, but you ain't hooping around and tear out. Before you judge me, you need to go and wipe the mirror off. Try to turn me down, the only thing you did was veer off. Showing fake love, I can tell it once I say it all. I just stay cool, acting like it wasn't weird at all. Most of the people that you meet are not who they appear at all. If you want on top, then you wouldn't hear it cheer at all. But I ain't got no top, I don't need a chandelier at all. I ain't got no talk cause I be really out my mind. When the hate don't work, I guarantee they get the line. They all talk dog, it's a room full of brines. I'm royalty, that means that it's in my bloodline. All hell the king, made the president resign. And if I'm not the king, then I'm making doves cry. I'm stepping on the scene like I never did reply.